Tonight on SPTV News, elections and update on the tobacco-free campus at the UW Stevens Point campus. Stay tuned.
And now Milica Mitrovic in her second year with SPTV News.
Good evening, Stevens Point. Tuesday was a day to remember with the primary midterm elections ending with a close vote. Scott Walker was re-elected as Wisconsin's governor and beating out former Trek bicycle executive Mary Burke with 52% of the votes. Also unique this year, Wisconsin saw one of the largest turnouts in the last 50 years. Locally, UWSP had the largest number of pre-registered voters over any other UW system school.
It was really successful yesterday. The second district, which is where the polling location was the recreation center over by the old Mid-State, about 920 total ballots cast. That's where Sweets, Prey Sims, Maroach, and Smith Hall voted. The third district, which was right here in the DUC, had 829. There were a lot of students who casted a ballot there. At least over half of those ballots were students, I know that. And then the 11th district, which included Burroughs, Knutson, Thompson, Watson, that voted at the Visitor Center. That was 769 total ballots cast.
300 passengers being shuttled in the area alone really shows how our students use their right to vote. Well, another new happening on campus this Friday, an opportunity for students will get them thinking about their future careers in the broadcast industry. WSAW anchors will speak to students about the challenges and rewards in the industry. Students will then get the chance to network with these professionals and start thinking about life after graduation. The event will take place right here in the SPTV studio at 10 a.m. Food and beverages will be provided, and anyone is welcome to attend. Tobacco users at UWSP had adjusted to new rules on campus. SPTV's Emily Mergson has more on Health Services' response to the new policy.
At the beginning of the school year, a ban on tobacco began on the UWSP campus. Basically, all students have to use tobacco products outside of campus boundaries.
There are also a lot of questions about the campus boundary. We do have on the Student Health Service website, there's a tab on the left that is all of the tobacco-free campus information is listed there, and there's a campus map with the boundaries outlined so people can really clearly tell where can I smoke or use tobacco and where shouldn't I.
Students and faculty members using tobacco off campus raised some eyebrows in the housing communities near UWSP. But the Health Services and Student Health Advisory Committee worked with the neighbors to our campus.
I think going into this, people had a lot of concerns about the amount of litter that would occur on campus. So we actively did outreach with the Old Main Neighborhood Association and everybody that has a residence on the periphery of campus. We went around, knocked on doors, we supplied them with do not litter signs. Free of charge so that they could post those in their yards to try to help with the litter issue or the potential for litter issue.
Students have had to make changes in their habits as well, like walking outside the boundaries of campus to use their tobacco products.
People have been really, really responsible about making sure that they clean up and like she said, we've had a lot of students that have been incredibly responsible about picking up and making sure they're respectful of our neighbors.
With winter weather soon approaching, changes will need to be made with students and cleanup.
Maybe because it is colder, maybe we'll have more people come into Student Health Services looking for cessation products. For our smokers, we are concerned about, after winter ends, making sure to pick up all the butts that will be left behind after the snow melts.
If you would like more information on the tobacco-free policy, visit the UWSP Health Services website. This has been Emily Margison with SPTV News.
The Student Health Advisory Committee is always looking for volunteers to help with cleanup. In September of 1998, Amber Wilde, a 19-year-old pregnant UW Green Bay student, was reported missing, and no other leads have surfaced since. Until yesterday, Green Bay police were granted a warrant to a 30-acre area near Wapaka owned by a relative to someone who knew Wilde. The authorities believe this is a homicide case, but the family still has hope that Wilde could be alive. Unlike a victim of an accident, Wilde's body was never found. In national news, pot has promoted some people in the U.S. Capitol to head to the polls. And voters in Washington, D.C. said yes to legalizing possession of weed in a big way. The measure got about 65% of the vote, and it allows people over 21 to possess up to 2 ounces of marijuana and grow cannabis plants. But people still can't sell it. But because of D.C. is a district and not a state, the U.S. Congress reviews and can overrule D.C. laws.
That was the only reason why I voted yesterday, to legalize it.
We need to keep our eye now on whether Congress is going to try to interfere with the law that our voters enacted.
And this past week, Oregon and Alaska passed laws legalizing recreational marijuana. With the 2014 midterm elections behind them, lawmakers will now return to the work that goes into running the country, but they'll do it with a very different looking Congress. For the next 2 years, the GOP will control both houses. Leaders from both parties spoke today about the future. Martha Shade has their reaction.
To everyone who voted, I want you to know that I hear you. To the 2/3 of voters who chose not to participate in the process yesterday, I hear you too.
The Empire State Building turned red as the results of the 2014 midterm elections trickled in, signaling a massive shift in the balance of power.
Proud that actually to say and announce this morning that Republicans are at an all-time Republican high at the state level, both in the number of chambers and the number of seats.
President Obama will meet with bipartisan congressional leaders on Friday afternoon to map out the legislative terrain for the next 2 years. The chairman of the Republican National Committee says last night's decisive GOP victory is a clear indication of what Americans want.
We won because our policies resonated with the electorate.
Democrats, meanwhile, are left trying to find the bright side in a brutal defeat.
Number one, this was a wave election. In 2006, when it was a wave against the Republicans, they lost 30 seats. In 2010, a wave against us, we lost 63 seats. This wave election, we contained the losses to about 15 seats.
The shift in power could make President Obama's last 2 years in office a challenge, but he and other Democratic lawmakers say they're eager to get back to work.
Congress will pass some bills I cannot sign. I'm pretty sure I'll take some actions that some in Congress will not like. That's natural. That's how our democracy works. But we can surely find ways to work together on issues where there's broad agreement among the American people.
I'm Martha Shade reporting.
Forward to Republicans putting forward their governing agenda.
It will be interesting to see what happens in the next few years. A search for a killer who may have posted photos of the crime online, Lee Stoll has a disturbing confession that turned up minutes before the deputies found the victim.
Marlene Fecto went online looking for information on her murdered neighbor.
Very creepy, yeah.
When a few clicks led to an online stream where someone posted photos of a woman apparently strangled across her bed. We aren't showing the photos because they're too gruesome and because authorities won't confirm they're real. They do say they're taking them very seriously.
Just to post the pictures and what he wrote, it makes the crime 100 times worse than what it is.
The texter taunted, "She fought so hard. Her son will be home from school soon. He'll find her, then call the cops." 30 minutes later, officers say a relative did find a woman dead in her South Park Greens apartment. Carissa Herrick just moved out of the unit a few months ago.
I'm trying to tell my daughter what happened, so I don't want her to think of our old villain safe.
The texter says he has a BB gun that looks real. Quote, "When they come, I'll pull it and it will be suicide by cop." Neighbors say the victim, who was in her 30s, lived with her boyfriend and teenage son. Fecto never heard problems through the shared wall.
I hear them banging, closing cupboards, their washer and dryer, but I've never ever heard fighting.
Officers aren't calling anyone a suspect, but say they want to talk to the victim's boyfriend. They're also looking for her missing car, a 2001 gold Ford Focus with black rims and Washington plates 495YLY.
That's creepy. And nobody heard anything. I don't know why.
We're expecting an update from officers on the investigation this afternoon. In the meantime, they say they're following up on a lot of good information from the public. Again, they're asking if anyone has information or has seen the missing car to give them a call. In Port Orchard, I'm Lee Stoll, KOMO 4 News.
Authorities are still looking into this case for more information and possible leads. Well, that wraps up news for the week. Ben Zitouni has the latest in local and Pointer news next.
The Love Doctor is in. Watch SPTV's new series featuring college dating advice, love confessions, and more. Michaela Hilgart is The Love Doctor. Watch the new series premiering this fall on SPTV Charter Channel 983.
This public service announcement is brought to you by SPTV.
Hi, my name is Julia Flaherty. I've been living with juvenile diabetes for more than half of my life. I realized fairly early on in my diagnosis that this was an opportunity for me to take responsibility to draw awareness about a disease that, according to JDRF.org, affects almost 3 million Americans today. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. That's why I'm asking you to tweet me at Miss Trenchie on Twitter to tell me how you are going to help the world be diabetes-free. This disease is not curable. It is treatable. But for some people, that doesn't make it any less tolerable. Whether you have juvenile diabetes, know someone that does, or are just inspired to learn more about it, the month of November gives you a great opportunity to start. Don't push disease to invisibility. Set it free.
This public service announcement is not affiliated with JDRF.org. This has been an SPTV production. Together, we strive to make media with UWSP students.
Every day, the San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy's dedicated team of scientists and conservationists is working around the globe to save Earth's precious wildlife from extinction. Now is the time to act. You can become a hero for wildlife. And with your generous gift, you can create a path that will help bring animals back from the brink of extinction. Together, with your generosity, we can do even more. Bringing species back from the brink of extinction.
And now Ben Zitouni in his first year with your SPTV Sports.
The UW Stevens Point Pointers football team was back in action this past weekend as they took on the Titans of UW Oshkosh. It was a rough game overall for the Pointers as they were beat for the first time at home this year, 21-7. With Kyle Larson down for the year with an ankle injury, Cody Nuremberg got the start. It was the junior's first start as a Pointer, and while he looked good at times, he did end up throwing 2 crucial interceptions. He finished the game going just 17 for 39 with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. He will be the starter for the Pointers the rest of the way this season. On the defensive side of things, the Pointers did not look to be themselves on the day, as Oshkosh burned the squad with 3 big plays that resulted in touchdowns. The Pointers head to UW Whitewater this next weekend in a crucial matchup that has major playoff implications. It's a win-or-go-home game for the Pointers, and it should be a good one. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. Women's volleyball continues to do well as they won all 3 of their matches over the weekend. They are 27-4 on the year and look to be on absolute fire right now. The Pointers will be hosting this year's Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Tournament this upcoming weekend. Best of luck to them as they near the postseason. Men's hockey was in action this past weekend as they took on Finlandia. There are high expectations this year as the Pointers come into the season ranked number 2 overall in the nation. They look deserving of that ranking this past weekend as they won 11-0. Nick Diavolio led the Pointers in scoring as he scored 2 goals on the evening. The Pointers scored 6 goals in the opening period, and that set the tone early as they never let off the gas pedal. Coach Brooks and his team are set to take on Gustavus Adolphus this weekend. Now on to some Big Ten news. The Badgers are on a hot streak at the moment as they took on Rutgers this past weekend. They defeated the Scarlet Knights 37-0 as the Badgers keep their Big Ten Conference championship hopes alive. Melvin Gordon looked dominant once again as he ran for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Badgers defense also stepped it up and is now ranked first nationally in yards allowed per game. The Badgers' next opponent is Purdue this Saturday. In NFL news this week, the Green Bay Packers will be back in action this next weekend as they take on the Chicago Bears. Coming off a bye week, this will be a very pivotal game in both the NFC North and NFC playoff race. The game will take place in primetime as the Packers host the Bears at Lambeau Field Sunday night. Kickoff is at 7:30. The Packers have also decided to part ways with Derek Sherrod. The right tackle was released this week following a terrible performance for 4 games when starting right tackle Brian Bulaga was hurt. As a former first-round pick selection by the Packers in 2011, Sherrod did not live up to the expectations. That's all we have for sports tonight. Make sure to check out Final Take on demand on YouTube and on our SPTV website. After the break, why Bollywood is now allowing women to be makeup artists. Laura Braun has a story.
Hey you! Are you creative? Do you like television? Would you like to make a show that appears on air? Then SPTV is the place for you. At SPTV, you can appear on air, learn how to shoot and edit video, write and produce your own show, and most importantly, gain skills and experiences that will last a lifetime. Want to join us at SPTV? Come check us out in the Communication Arts Center, rooms 121 and 130. We'd love to meet you. SPTV. Let's make media together.
I am a giant panda bear, love you, bamboo. I am a sweaty snake, but I'm not because of you. I am a grouse, and I almost was too. If it wasn't for the help of the San Diego Zoo. How about you join us? Save it as a tortoise. We need your help to bring species back, so bring us back from the brink of extinction. Bring us back from the brink of extinction. I am the bring us back from the brink of extinction. California, bring us back from the brink of extinction. And desert tortoise.
Stevie Pointer loves SPTV News and the News' producers. Watch SPTV News weekly for breaking, campus, and local news across Stevens Point. Only on Charter Channel 983. The Love Doctor is in. Watch SPTV's new series featuring college dating advice, love confessions, and more. Michaela Hilgert is The Love Doctor. Watch the new series premiering this fall on SPTV Charter Channel 983.
These guys care about sports. The talk continues after the cameras stop rolling. Watch Final Take only right here on SPTV for anything Pointers, anything sports.
Now Laura Braun in her 4th year with your SPTV Entertainment.
Welcome back. This week, a decades-old tradition is now putting Bollywood in the legal spotlight. It's our big story this week. All the makeup artists on Bollywood film sets have primarily been men, but that soon could change. One prominent female makeup artist is taking the issue to India's Supreme Court. CNN's Milica Mitrovic reports.
An actor, fashionista, and style icon. Bollywood star Sonam Kapoor says a lot of the credit for her glamorous looks goes to someone else.
I think it's wrong to say that I work with female makeup artists. I think it's correct to say that I work with the best.
Meet Namrata Soni, one of Bollywood's highly sought-after makeup artists who isn't allowed to work on a film set because a makeup union established in 1955 says it's against its rules. The same union says men can't become hairstylists, only women can.
I want to see where this rule is written. Every time I've asked them, show me this book or show me this paper, just ask me to leave. They're like, that's the door, please leave.
We asked the vice president of this union, made up of 3,000 male makeup artists, why they don't let women do the same job. We are scared that our existing makeup artists, plus those who want to become makeup artists, their jobs will be affected. This is 100%.
So it's about job protection?
It is about the job protection.
It's an argument few people buy.
If you're so scared, then maybe you shouldn't be working at all. Then women are going to take away your jobs. What kind of men are you?
If directors hire female makeup artists, they're often threatened, as Farah Khan was when she used Sony in her first movie.
Yes, there are a few troublemakers who will come and they will protest, and then the production guy will say, oh, please hide the women makeup artists.
In a country where women are now asserting their rights more than they ever have, a determined makeup artist has taken this old rule to India's Supreme Court.
In 21st century, where we talk about equality between men and women, women empowerment, and such a weird rule where this is women will not be allowed to do makeup.
Determined voices in a country where women's empowerment is not just left to the activists. It's now everyone's fight. Milica Kapoor, CNN, Mumbai.
Well, since the story broke, courts have now decided to lift the ban as thousands of women are eager to start their Bollywood career. Well, one former American Idol contestant made his political debut, and it seems to be helping his career. Singer-songwriter and politician Clay Aiken didn't fulfill his dream of becoming a U.S. congressman, but he gained a TV show out of it. Aiken lost to Republican incumbent Renee Elmers Tuesday in North Carolina's 2nd District. E! News reports the Esquire network has filmed every step of his campaign and will turn it into a 4-hour docuseries. The Untitled project is expected to premiere sometime in 2015. Well, Richard Pryor was known for being one of the most influential comedians of his time, and now he'll be known for getting his own statue. A 7.5-foot tall replica of Pryor will be erected this year in his hometown of Peoria, Illinois. Pryor had died of a heart attack in 2005 as funding for the memorial came from 5,500 of his closest community friends through a comedy benefit on Saturday night. The event was headlined by George Lopez and featured other popular comedians.
Richard Pryor is definitely the king of comedy, man, and to be able to ride around in this city, I definitely feel his spirit, and to see he came from really a beautiful place, man. This is like really, really historic and biblical.
According to Lopez, the event was a huge success. He said Pryor's bronze memorial will be unveiled in April. Well, stick around. SPTV's meteorologist Jenna Crayton will have your 7-day forecast after the break.
How can you get involved with student media at UWSP? Connecting with your campus television station, SPTV, is easy. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Vine, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Pinterest, follow us on Instagram, or connect with us on Google+. But of course, the best way for you to get involved and stay up to date with all that is happening at our station is to stop by our studio. We're located in the Communication Arts Center at UWSP, Studio B, Room 121. You can also drop by our office, Room 130, for more information on station happenings. We can't wait to get you involved. Come join us at SPTV. Let's make media together. Public service announcement is brought to you by SPTV.
Hi, my name is Julia Flaherty. I've been living with juvenile diabetes for more than half of my life. I realized fairly early on in my diagnosis that this was an opportunity for me to take responsibility to draw awareness about a disease that, according to JDRF.org, affects almost 3 million Americans today. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. That's why I'm asking you to tweet me at Miss Trenchi on Twitter to tell me how you are going to help the world be diabetes-free. This disease is not curable. It is treatable. But for some people, that doesn't make it any less tolerable. Whether you have juvenile diabetes, know someone that does, or are just inspired to learn more about it, the month of November gives you a great opportunity to start. Don't push disease to invisibility. Set it free.
This public service announcement is not affiliated with JDRF.org. This has been an SPTV production. Together, we strive to make media with UWSP students.
Serving a campus of 9,600 strong, we are the home of UWSP Television. We are SPTV. You can find us on Charter Channel 983, online, or on any of our social media sites.
On every corner of our planet, the San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy helps bring Earth's animals back from extinction. Join us now to end global extinction. You can help to save the planet and help restore Earth back to life. The San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy, bringing species back from the brink of extinction.
My name is Julia Flaherty. I'm the current promotions director at SPTV. My job allows for me to have a lot of personal creative direction because that is the team environment that we instill here at SPTV. This past summer, I had the opportunity to write for hercampus.com as well as thedailyquark.com. Personally, I feel that being involved with SPTV has really helped boost my confidence and my ability to network with other students. If student media is something that interests you, and even if you're not really sure what student media means, you should stop by our studios. We are looking forward to having you involved this year, and we cannot wait to make media with you.
Serving a campus of 9,600 strong, we are the home of UWSP Television. We are SPTV. You can find us on Charter Channel 983, online, or on any of our social media sites.
Hello everyone, my name is Jenna Crayton. I'm your SPTV meteorologist with your SPTV 7-day forecast. This weekend we'll see partly cloudy skies and patchy fog as we head towards Saturday. Temperatures should reach 36 on Friday, highs of 43 on Saturday and Sunday. No signs of snow heading into the beginning of next week, with mostly clear skies and highs dipping down into the low 20s. Remember to wear your hats and gloves as the lows will reach into the single digits. The end of this week should be partly cloudy and a bit windy as winter storms could be heading our way for next weekend. In national weather, it looks like winter is on its way. A polar vortex is predicted to hit central and eastern parts of the United States, spanning from Sunday through Friday. Vortexes usually circulate around the North Pole, but it has made its way down to the central U.S. early this year. Let's take a look at some unusual world weather now. Sydney is seeing some slightly lower temperatures in the beginning of their summer, with highs of 64. Brazil flooding with rain. Rainfall exceeds 6 inches on Wednesday, and more rain is predicted through Thursday. That wraps up the weather forecast for this week. This has been meteorologist Jenna Crayton for SPTV News. Back to you, Milica.
Thanks, Jenna. Well, that's all we have for SPTV News this week. For more updates, make sure to check out our website and to learn more about what happens at SPTV. Tune in next week for more SPTV News. Good night, Stevens Point.
Serving a campus of 9,600 strong, we are the home of UWSP Television. We are SPTV. You can find us on Charter Channel 983, online, or on any of our social media sites.